So going through 1.5 for day 1, we already covered deriving the distance formula, but we also need to go over midpoint and slope of a line segment, but we'll go over midpoint here. So midpoint formula, all it really is taking the average of your x's and taking the average of your y's. So midpoint is just, here's our x coordinate of the midpoint and our y coordinate of the midpoint. And this is just equal to, like I said, taking the averages. So you add them, x1 plus x2, and you cut them in half. That's an average. Average of y1 plus y2 be as seen here. So this is our formula for that. Now we can go to this problem here, which asks us to find the midpoint of this set of points. So I'll just kind of put in axes right here so we can visualize this. So m is at negative 15, somewhere back here, positive 8. And n is located at negative 1, 12, so something like this. You know your midpoint is going to be somewhere in here, right? Somewhere between these 2 points. So let's try it out. And I'll just write these like this. M would be our first point, which is located at negative 15, 8. Since it's our midpoint, we'll call this, our first point, call it x1, y1. So first point, use those little subscripts of 1. N would be our second point, located at negative 1, 12. And this would be, since it's our second point, x2, y2. So let's try it out. We know the midpoint is x1 plus x2, which would be negative 15 plus negative 1, should be negative 16. And what do? Cut that in half, right? Cutting it in half. And then we use y1 plus y2, which would be 8 plus 12, which is 20. Again, we cut that in half. What do we end up getting? Negative 8, 10. So negative 8 would be somewhere like right here. And then 10 would be like right here. So that would be our midpoint. And it definitely looks like our midpoint. If you wanted to, you can always pop open a Desmos and plot these points. Was it negative 15, 8 was our first point. Then we had negative 1, 12. And then our third point was, our midpoint was negative 8, 10. So one way to check this is you can check, and I'll actually just screenshot this so we can demonstrate it. We can check by showing that we have the same slope in between each point. So how many do we go up? 1, 2. And then we go to the right, so I'm say plus 2. And then we go to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many times do we go up to get to the blue? We go up 2. Then we go to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that would create a straight line. Just like that. So this would be M, this would be N, and this would be our midpoint. We'll just call it Q.